Hello, hello. Good morning. Good morning. Hope everyone had a wonderful long rest. Welcome to the short rest after the long rest. This is the Arcane Recovery Short Rest Podcast, episode 2, session 2. Technically the third episode, but session 2 since we had a session 0. Good morning again, everybody. Welcome to another Saturday. Dan, Iggy, we're wondering how you guys are doing. First off, because it's a little bit earlier than normal.
Well. I am doing super good. Got a beautiful sleep. Been having a great time. I got a little sun damage. I've been doing a lot of hiking lately. And I'm ready to go, man, you know. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in so far.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I also have a bit of the weather's been incredibly nice over here in Ireland recently, so I've been out enjoying the sun. I've been having a bit of trouble with my laptop that's been bugging me the past couple of days, but I'm here. I made it. We're all good. Yeah, I'm happy to see you guys.
Despite any technical difficulties. Welcome back to another episode. If you're listening in on Spotify, I am one of your Dungeon Master hosts, Orion, joined once again by our lovely DM hosts, DM Iggy and producer Dan.
And I am producer Dan.
He is just producer Dan. We have a wonderful show prepped for you guys today. We have two amazing, fantastic guests today, and we will introduce those guests, if you're watching on Twitch, right the heck now.
Right the heck now.
Right the heck now.
Oh.
And for anybody who's watching on YouTube, what are you doing? Watch us on Twitch.
Watch us on Twitch,
right?
Idiot.
Spotify as well.
I like how Jerry was not there and he just like spawned in.
Yeah. Just popped into existence.
Yep. It's the power of the fedora. It's the hat that gives him his power.
The fedora doesn't quite fit on the head with the headphones, but I mean, go for that.
That's why I have the earbuds, because I can wear hats that way.
I should switch to earbuds just for the hat bit later.
Are those Raycon?
Are you sponsored by Ray?
The most affordable, best-fitting headphones that doesn't have an effect on quality while you wear them. Raycon, please sponsor us. We're not sponsored.
But yeah, why don't we introduce our wonderful guest?
Yes, I was just going to mention that.
Yes.
Let us mention our two guests that I'm very excited to have on. Super excited. We have the very talented Dungeon Master and Twitch streamer GMJerry with us today. Everybody give him a round of applause for showing up.
Yeah.
Jerry!
Big fan.
Big
Hello.
privilege to actually have him on the show. Didn't think it would be possible, but here we are.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Jerry, tell us a little bit about yourselves, if you'd like. Anything that you'd like to shout out at all?
Right now, things are kind of crazy. I'm getting back. Believe it or not, I have a day job. Surprise. So I'm finally, COVID restrictions kind of loosening up a little bit. I'm getting back into doing day job stuff. So I don't have a lot of GMing plans aside from maintaining the crews that I have. I run 6 campaigns a week, depending on the week. So I'm just maintaining those, and I'm only streaming 2 of those right now. So it's been a bit busy.
Imagine working a day job. I could never.
I can never do that.
I'm just kidding. I unfortunately do have to work like most people, and it is it's a thing. Thank you very much, Jerry. Joined today as well. We have a very good friend and a very, very talented artist. He is the artist for the Arcane Recovery album that you see
art,
there.
yep.
Yeah, the album art.
Album cover.
Yes, our good friend Giovanni. Let's give Giovanni a round of applause as well.
Thank you, guys.
Is this going to be a normal thing that we're doing? All right.
Yeah.
My claps are very loud. I'm sorry about that. Giovanni, you're working on some art over here, man, and let me tell you, it looks beautiful. Tell us a little bit about yourself
man.
and your creative passions.
Sure. I'm basically a professional pizza tester, and in the free time, I do fantasy
Nice.
illustrations.
Nice.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Okay. Yeah, I like
Basically,
it. Anything that you want to shout out at all? You know, like you want to shout out your art?
Yeah. I'm always open for commissions, and I
Yes.
love to bring characters to life. You know, my
And
work is right now. It's basically RPG related, so I'm on the right podcast right now.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
let me
So-
tell you, if you guys are looking for single character commissions or party commissions or fantasy illustrations, this guy is so insanely talented, and he's so easy to work with. He makes everything so easy. And
Mhm.
when I was looking for illustrations of my characters, I am so grateful that I waited an extra day when he contacted me, because it was the best decision.
Hmm.
Telling you, he has very fair pricing.
Oh, that's great, man.
And whenever if you guys ever looking for commissions, hit him up. Hit him up. I believe it's GGT Films at ArtStation, right?
Yep.
GGT Film without the Z.
Yeah, I'm gonna write it down here, so it's always there. I have another thing to say, but we can talk in detail
please.
later,
Okay.
which is the
Absolutely.
RPG thing / world I'm creating with a friend of mine.
Ooh, very nice.
So it's really on early development, and I have like concept art to show you guys and talk about it.
Nice.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That's awesome.
I believe you gave us like a little sneak peek, and it looks really, really cool.
Yep.
And I'm super excited to go into detail about that. But without any further ado, with all our guests introduced and all the very handsome lads that are here today, shall we get started?
We shall.
And I
All
guess
right.
this is the part where we just like say that we're starting.
This is the part we say we're starting, and then we mess around for 25 minutes, like last time talking about beers.
We talk about abusing our grandmas here. It's called abusing your grandma. That's a joke. Don't take that seriously,
Don't.
please.
Oh boy. Well, it is great to have both of you here.
Yeah.
To have two very talented people in two completely different realms that kind of just come together.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say something else for a second. I think they're going to say it's nice to have two very talented people and then two very non-talented people.
Yeah, I was like,
And then there's
wow,
us.
what? And then there's the three of us here.
I thought he was
Our
referring to
own
me. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, but speaking of you, Jerry, you've been a dungeon master for how long? How long has this been your passion?
Oh my goodness. Gaming, like tabletop gaming, I didn't get really into until college. And then being a dungeon master was something I kind of stumbled in. When you have the guys around the table going, I can't meet next week. I can't GM next week. I'll try it. Sure. You just kind of stumble into it. That's kind of how I got into it. How I got it.
You were bamboozled.
I was tricked. Slimy little halfling. But the professional part of it was mainly just during COVID. I did a couple tables here and there, but during COVID, there was a site called Start Playing that spun up, and they contacted me. So I, sure, I'll try it out, and if I make $10 here and there, it'll pay for my Pepsi addiction, and
right.
yay.
Mhm.
Ooh, yikes! Pepsi.
That is the most important thing you can have. Like COVID, who cares about like food and keeping yourself sustained? Keeping your Pepsi
Right?
addiction in check is probably the best thing you can do with your time during COVID.
I hear that he has drank so much Pepsi in his lifetime that he's immune to COVID because his blood is too spicy.
It doesn't get sick.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, go on.
The shots, one or the other. No, I'm just saying that's kind of how I got into doing this even professionally I just kind of stumbled into it. And I'm having a ball with it. I mean, like I said, I'm doing 6 games a week right now, so schedule's a little full, but it's a lot of fun. I do mostly kids and families, and oh my gosh, kids are hilarious. If you ever get a chance to DM for kids, do it. I mean, because one, you can't do it wrong because they don't know the difference. And they're hilarious. Some of the things they think up to do is just mind-numbing, and some of them, is there a stick nearby? I'm going, oh crap. Sure, yeah, there's a stick. I want to poke it in the eye. Okay.
Roll for poke. Yeah, that's actually really interesting because I'm going to be picking up a game here pretty soon for my nephew, actually.
Do it.
Who, he had 2 routes to go down. My brother really wants him into weightlifting and stuff like that. He wants to make him a power lifter. But then there's like gaming stuff and like nerd culture, and he's a huge nerd. So it's only right that I show him D&D. You know what I mean?
He's going to be like
he says he can't do both.
Absolutely, yeah. And I just know he's going to love it. He has a really good imagination.
Have you any funny anecdotes about like teaching with kids and families? Any other kind of memorable moments that stick out? Like,
oh man,
things that are like how would DMing for a family differ from DMing for, say, just a group of friends?
I usually don't have too big of a problem with my language, but I do catch myself every now and then. You have to be very careful with how you describe things because when you're a GM, you're describing the world, and you stumble into some areas, and you go into some of the seedier parts of town, and you start talking about the women standing on the street corners, etc. And you didn't have to suddenly realize, wait a minute, they're not going to get that. There's not going to be a point of reference in their mind to attach that to. So how do you describe the seedier parts of town without a point of reference?
Yeah, absolutely. That is going to be something that I have. Sorry, go ahead.
So you just have to be creative. You have to describe, instead of the people, describe more of the scenery. The fact that the buildings aren't quite as well kept. You see some holes, some cracks between the boards, even where you can see almost into the people's houses. That kind of thing. Where it's just not as high income, and you have to try to treat it. You have to take those things completely differently. Another thing, in one of the campaigns, there was an endless flask of what was it, bourbon or something like that, and it became an endless flask of hot chocolate because one of the kids had been talking endlessly about his mom's hot chocolate and how he loved it. So it became an endless flask of hot chocolate.
You have to take everything and you have to tone it down like 20 levels. That's what I feel
but
like.
It's still fun.
Yeah, going into it, all my campaigns and my style of writing and acting, it's all very dark. It's very grim dark, everything's gritty, and like the world is like a horrible place and people are super not trustworthy. I'm probably definitely gonna have to tone that down to be more lighthearted, like folklore fantasy style.
Yeah.
I
don't know. I think one of the things, like I have a mom and her son who are doing this with me, and the mom's told me she appreciates that. There are some things that we've come up on that are grim. I mean, they're a dismembered body. Of course I don't describe it in detail, but I just say, hey, there's a body and it seems to be missing a head. That kind of thing. And she said, I appreciate that you're tackling these topics and you're going through the storyline, but you're not, diving into how much blood and gore is on the floor and, some of the darker aspects, but you're still going through the story because we're running campaigns like pre-made campaigns, right? So
I think that's a good way to really to put it as well. You don't always have to go into the very nitty-gritty details.
Right.
Maybe for setting the scene if you're entering like a place, but for something like that topic, like a dismembered body or something, like, you see his liver sitting over by his stomach.
Right.
That might be a little bit too
trickling down the side of his body.
And I think that there would be something wrong with you if you went into that much detail. But
Yeah.
Well, yes.
Hey, you got to think about it for a minute. It's like, well, do I really want to get into
I'm
it?
guilty of it myself. I get a little nitty gritty sometimes. I'm trying to set the scene. Sometimes my grimdark writing kind of goes into horror a little bit, a horror aspect. So, yeah.
Yeah, like I tend to like my worlds tend to be a little bit more lighthearted, but that was mostly because like when I started off, I didn't really know how to like DM like the darker aspects, and also like my party tends to be a bit more of like a goofy campaign rather than like taking things very serious.
Yeah.
Right.
But I love just like putting in like little moments of darkness and like little moments of just like pure like suspense, and then just seeing how they react to it, because they're not used to it. Like they're used to like going into a tavern, meeting a funny drunk who gives them a bunch of cool stuff that doesn't actually work. And then the next day, they're finding the mayor's dead son in the forest. You know, a child.
Okay.
Like it, I love going between the two, just like because my party doesn't know where they're gonna go next.
Yes,
You
for
know?
sure. They're in my campaign. They're in the city, and they just had to pull a prison heist to break out one of the characters. And one of the characters, he has this demon that's inside of him named Baron, who comes out whenever he gets angry, stressed, or if the main character tries to find out what he is, the creature doesn't want him to find out. So the creature named Baron came out when he was trying to research the subject, and he killed a young man. He was 17, and he was like a maester. He was like a maester in training of like the Grand Archive. He slaughtered him and he ate his corpse. Very, very grisly. He was taken down very, very fast by the royal guard, and he was imprisoned. And that's like setting the scene for like how dark and gritty that gets. But at the same time, while he was in prison, the character that was breaking him out, really cool guy. His name is Ray. He is a divination wizard. No, it's a conjuration wizard. Sorry. And he went through the process of breaking into the prison using a lot of like really like tricky magic items that I ended up giving them for some reason.
I can't remember why.
You know, safe to say,
for whatever reason, I had
you know, a magical box of pigments that lets you paint doorways is kind of powerful. Anyways,
yes.
He ends up breaking into the cell, but they moved him, and they run into this little guy named Fiffle. And he is a human who is about 4 feet tall. He's bald, and he has no neck, and he has a little peg leg, and he is really, really stupid.
Did you say his name was Fiffle?
Yes, Fiffle. Fifle.
Fiffle. That's a great name, actually.
And he was like begging to be let out by Ray, the conjuration wizard. He is begging Ray, the conjuration wizard, to let him out. And it was this really interesting, long process that dragged on for way longer than it should have, because he was able to like get the bars off. He got the bars off of the prison, and he tied a rope to one of the remaining bars and let Fiffle climb down. But Fiffle was confused with what end to start climbing from on the rope. And it was just I made it super, super difficult. Everything he said, I made sure to confuse Fiffle, and then he's gonna come back. He's gonna come back. He ended up having to cast Gias on him to command him to climb down.
Jesus.
But I don't know. That was just
making characters like that is always a fun little thing to put in, because like not only it gives the characters in the game like a bit of comic relief, but it also allows the DM to like play and like be weird for no reason, you know.
Yeah,
I love that.
That's the fun of it to me.
Mhm.
Being this other character. I was always one of those guys that when you played like WoW or EverQuest, if you remember that game. Yes, I'm that old.
Back.
You know, where I always had the max number of characters available on the server multiple times over because I would delete them all and restart different ones. You know,
That's the fun of it,
that's
man.
the kind of So that's why I enjoy playing a DM. I don't think I could ever be a single character for an entire campaign. It would probably drive me crazy.
All my characters I love so much, but I pour so much time and love into my characters when I create them. But like at the same time, I am not. I'm not sad about my character deaths. Like, if they die, I'm super excited to move on to a new character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love all my characters equally, so I never get sad or like angry, because some players get kind of sour if there's a character death.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I miss I get involved in my characters.
Yeah,
even
exactly.
with the NPCs, because there's NPCs that die for the part of the story, and I am kind of sad about. Oh, I'll never get to play that guy again. Oh, that's kind of sad. I liked him.
Yeah,
he's the one with the funny voice or the weird limp or whatever.
That's why I bring them back in other campaigns.
They live on forever.
Yeah. Like I had in my game right now, they had a wizard in the town who used to help them out a lot, and he was like a young, like very like, I wouldn't say hip wizard, but like he was supposed to be like this really all powerful. He looked like he was about 25. And I loved playing him because the party would always like have so many questions, and he would just like give very vague answers and like really annoy them. But I ended up having to kill him off because he was becoming too much of a crutch for the party, and I really hated killing him off.
Parties love their crutches so much.
But now they have a new favorite. They have a butler in their house who's a half-orc called Sebastian, and they love him for some reason.
I think half of that is just making the GM do funny voices, or it's more making the GM do something instead of the other way around, where the GM is making the characters do something.
They love looking for specific. They love they go into a bar and they go, "What does the bar person look like?" Because I always give people in bars weird voices. Oh well, like you go up to the bar, like, what are you ordering? Whatever, they give me a voice and I'll just go, "Well, hello there, darling. We're in here. You're new in town, and if you need someone to help you look around, I'm your gal."
There was one bartender that my party ended up loving, and it was like an all like orc goblinoid town, races of that kind of degree, and he was like this like potbelly orc named Jeremy, because I didn't have a name prepared for him.
Jeremy.
Yeah,
you name things like I do. Bob. His name is
John.
Bob.
I love the NPC John. I've saved him multiple times.
And like just like every time, like they always go by that village and they stop in to see Jerry. And Jerry talks like this: "Hello, it is a pleasure to see you again." And he's always like
just singing everything.
Yeah, he sings everything. That's the thing with Jeremy. "A pint for you, my dear." You know who does really really good characters and bartenders? Spencer.
Spencer.
I love all his characters so much. Whether it's like a bartender or like the bartender's like brothers and everything. Yeah,
Steve the futon guy.
Steve the futon guy. And there's like, I can't remember the names off the top of my head, but there's like the recent iterations of, there's like the dumb guard, and then there was the bartender who was like an aggressive looking orc. And he would always ask the guy, like the bodyguard, like a question, and the guy would be like, "No, never heard of it." You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the it was a really really good deal that he did.
It's like, "Do you want to hear a joke?" "I don't like jokes."
Yeah.
Oh, were those the guys who just before we went to the Lemon Underground?
No, it was the first time we had just arrived in Colfort.
Oh, those guys.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I remember those guys now.
And he's like, "Hey, I don't know. You hear anything about Hellgate?" "Well, yeah, actually, it's quite popular." He's like, "No, damn it, you're not supposed to answer with that."
Yeah. Actually, you're supposed to say you don't know nothing.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things to do, like, is obviously I think each race has like a voice that comes with it. I always like to describe, like, oh, you see a tiny gnome, but just give him like the biggest, gruffiest, not known voice you could ever give him. Like you see like a big, tall Goliath, and they talk like this, and they're just having a great time.
I don't know how many times I can keep telling you this, but I don't want to fight you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like I always have subverting expectations. That's one of my favorite things to do in my game.
Yeah, I love subverting people's expectations so much.
On the same note with NPCs and bartenders, I have a bartender in Eris that everybody like enjoyed very much. Unfortunately, the whole town had to be eradicated,
killed, demolished.
Well, it was
happens.
It was a small little like villa outpost of like 50 people, and that kind of got overrun by like overrun easily by a clan, like a bandit and pirate clan, because it was like one town in away from shore, and it totally got overrun. Like everybody's either bought out, sold out, or dead. And all that remains are either bandits, affiliation of bandits, or people who got bought out by bandits. So,
of course,
yeah. So they go to the bar, and there's and then there's was it Randy? I think his name's Randy.
Very solid trailer trash name.
Absolutely.
Because Randy, he didn't say anything. He was polishing a glass with a dirty rag, leaving streak marks on the rim of the glass. And he would just gesture toward one of the empty seats and like tap like next to the box of where it would say tips. Like you're supposed to tip him to even order something from him. To give him the time, to give you the time of day. And so the wizard goes up, and he's like, a round of whatever's on house for everyone here. We've been traveling a long way. And we're in quite a hurry, if you don't mind. Randy spits on the floor, because there's no spit bucket. He just spits on the floor.
No spit bucket.
Yeah, so and then he reaches down, grabs like a bunch of dusty bottles with the label sun bleached off, spreads them across the counter, and then he goes, I want that with the for the letter, make it late or my bed. Bring it out like that. Take that table over there and don't talk about like that and don't talk about that.
You made a big power.
And he opens up the bottles and he slides them up. All right, man, it'll be 6 old. And
He
he
just
like slaps next to the box.
Inaudible. Like, what? What did you even say?
All right, now, and then he asks a question. Is like, okay, so how do we get to this place called Next Villa? And he goes, oh, that's easy, man. No, man, they're gonna go to bring it like that. They're gonna take it hold of it. They're gonna go like that. We're gonna take it left or right and go to that and 2.5 down now. They go over the rock and go to bring it. Go to that. Man, Next Villa be done so way too easy. All right, that's 4 gold. Thank you.
Jesus
It's a lot of
Christ.
character. It's a lot of character for a bartender, man. I love it. I also really like. I really like
and
how
the
you
wizard,
did,
and the wizard stood there for like 7 seconds of silence, and he said, "I like to cast comprehend languages."
I was speaking a different language. Oh my god.
Perfect use of that too, by the way. I love it.
I like to cast comprehend
Beautiful.
languages. He's like, all right. So what he said was, it's really easy. You go to the south end of town. Over there around the corner, be able to rent a horse, go down south, hang a right, hang a left, hang a right again, 2.2 miles, and you end up in Next Villa. By the way, that'll be 4 gold, please, for the information. He's like, he said all that? I'm like, yeah, he said all that.
He
You know
he
what's
tells them
amazing
all
about
the
that
way,
is-
all the information first, then asks for money after.
Yeah, he's not that
Instead of
smart.
asking for money before.
He's not that smart.
The thing that's amazing about all that, you're going to have to keep up that character now for the next 20 years. You realize that, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm completely.
Yeah.
I was trying to
He's
sell
dead
bow
now,
deal.
but
Well, I'm sure his brother,
yeah.
Biff, lives a few towns over or something.
Oh no, his brother's name is Dandy. You got Randy and Dandy.
Right, exactly.
And then his mom's name's Sandy.
I hope that when you DM for our the Arcane Recovery campaign,
I will
Randy
bring
is
back
somewhere
Randy.
in there.
I will bring back Randy.
Because I'll spend the entire session just talking to Randy. I'm sorry. Just give me like a one-on-one session with Randy.
It'll be the cousin that he married, Candy.
Candy. I actually have a question for Giovanni. So obviously, like Giovanni, you're very synonymous within our community as being like an artist, somebody who draws RPG characters, and you know, I think you're amazing. Do you play much D&D? Have you ever DM'd or have you played a character? If so, any characters that you want to tell us about that you really liked?
Yeah, actually, I don't really play D&D, but recently Elia told me that he was going to invite me to a one-shot.
Yes,
So,
that is the thing.
Yeah, I'm
This
looking
guy,
forward to it.
can you believe it? This guy doesn't even play D&D, and that's where you
Yeah,
get
man, I'm like I'm a
all
fraud.
right?
I'm a fraud.
You never play the freaking game, but it's where all your wake comes from. Anyways,
No, I
crazy,
did play D&D before, but
right. Do you? Is there any reason why you haven't picked up a D&D?
Are you a buffoon?
Are you an idiot?
yeah,
Oh God!
yeah.
Calm
there's
down,
that.
Ken.
But I feel like I'm damn lazy nowadays, so I like quick things. You know, I started to play Warzone because it's so quick and
Mm-hmm.
It's very fast.
you know, yeah, it's very fast, and I
Apex is pretty
feel
fast
like
too. I'm just saying,
yeah. But you know, I feel like I'm getting out of patience. But I did play it before.
well, I mean, you yourself, you're a huge fan of fantasy, right?
Yeah, I love it. Also, I
Yeah,
like
man.
the creative aspect to it.
I'm
Well,
telling you,
Jim-
man, it's a really good time if you you get a couple friends together, or you
man.
meet a couple of cool strangers online like us. I'm just saying, we're kind of the coolest cats around.
Mhm.
You kind of are the coolest of the cats.
Not to toot my own horn or anything, but it's really fun. I'm almost always super excited to play D&D. Almost.
Yeah, it's so fun. The problem for me right now is this thing that it takes a bit of time, you know. And lately I'm not having too much. But yeah, man, I love D&D, the whole creative aspect to it. While Jerry was talking about DMing for kids, I was like, DMing RPG for kids should be like an educational tool, you know, because it develops your creativity like anything else.
Oh, absolutely. I think that
So great.
having exposure to something like that might really thrust together, push forward somebody's creative aspirations. Aspirations, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
But man, I think you'll have a good time during that one shot. I think it could be something to explore.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too, man. I can't wait
my English as well.
Can't wait to have you on and put you in the spotlight and make you really nervous.
Sure.
And
Yeah, I have to say.
Don't worry about the language thing. I mean, that you make that part of your character, where the character slips a word every now and then, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's part of the fun.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't need a voice. You can just have your own voice. Everybody does it. I just like to do voices for my characters because I think it's fun. I like to make characters and have a good time.
The acting side of it, it's something I admire, but it's not something I know how to do it. You know.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would like to try it. I think it's fun, but I think it's my own personality. I'm not really a extroverted type of guy, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe I should drink some mead after or before we start, you know.
I'm just saying, man. Mead is my choice of drink.
Sure.
It is delicious.
Me too, man.
But if you get mead drunk, it's very much a tired drunk, as opposed to a tequila drunk, which is high.
No, not drunk, but a little bit less shy, you know.
Liquid courage.
Liquid courage. Yes.
Liquid courage.
Yes.
Liquid courage. Make your first character, if you want to do a voice. Sometimes doing a voice helps with the acting prospect as well, because you think about what that certain person would say. Make your first character like a Russian guy, you know.
Shurma Dimitri.
And let me just throw this on there. Just having a voice for your character helps others and even yourself to understand that this is my character talking versus this is me talking.
It is a big.
And you'll find what's really crazy about that when you're able to disconnect those two things in your brain. Your character will do and say things that you personally would never say or do or whatever.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
He'll suddenly have courage where you're generally a very shy person. In this moment, you'll start talking, get back here, you fool. I will cut your head off, And you would never say that, but your character suddenly becomes bold and, let me go get him,
That line you just said,
Yeah.
that is literally, sounds like it's straight out of Skyrim.
Yeah.
Cutting war.
Are you okay, Eggy?
I bumped my disc, it's fine. Yeah, Ben, but like on top of that, like it comes with time. I've only been playing D&D like 4 years now. When I started, my acting super bad. Now my acting still really bad, but
mildly bad,
but
marginally better.
That's how I am with DMing for me. When I first started, I was absolutely terrible. Jerry, I told this story last podcast episode where I did the ultimate DM no taboo that is almost like not a self-insert, but create a DM PC.
Just don't.
There's more.
Oh
Wait,
no! This is literally
it gets
the
so
tip
much
of the iceberg.
worse.
It gets so much worse, Jerry.
Worse. Where myself and a player character, out of game, we were like, we were texting back and forth. And we were like, yo, your NPC is like really freaking cool and would vibe really well with my character. We started shipping them outside of the game, so when we started acting in game, like they were a little bit flirty towards one another, and it wasn't like crossing boundaries. It was just so confusing and uncomfortable for literally everybody else because it came out of nowhere. So it's just like I made this DM PC that now had this thing for a player character, and it was just like, now I don't.
Yeah.
Like that was 3.5
really
years ago. Yeah, I was like,
yeah.
It sounded good on paper.
I have a DM PC in one of my campaigns. It's a campaign where they have to recruit all of the Viking clans that are currently warring with each other. Really fun. One of the heirs of the Viking clan Arak, is coming with them, and he's been traveling with them for a little bit under a month. And a really fun fact about this character is I try not to get a little too crazy with my DM PCs.
I feel like you're about to tell us something really crazy right now. I feel like you.
Every night,
just so you know, I don't like to get crazy, but
in this one case,
every night before he goes to sleep and the party goes to sleep, he strips down to be completely naked for no reason, seemingly no reason.
Is he just the kind of guy that just sleeps nude? Because that's kind of common.
He does not give a fuck about what the party is.
Like, I don't care.
dude,
Like,
it's
he doesn't
nature,
do
dude.
He's really fun. His name is Orstrom, and he gets completely naked, and he does it for a reason, though. He is a little bit of a fashionista, and he has a really, really, really nice set of pelts that his older brother gave him. And he has lycanthropy, and he hasn't told anybody about it yet, and he's scared to tear his pelts. So that's why he gets completely naked.
He's just afraid to tear his clothes because he's a werewolf.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
And, butt naked right in front of the whole party. He does not care. It's hilarious.
Yeah, man.
As the GM, I would have a fix for that.
Yeah.
Many nighttime raids.
Many nighttime raids.
Where you go up, you have no armor, and you just have a weapon.
Yeah, because you
weapon
got no
in your
armor now,
manhood, and that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
Weapon in your manhood, that's it.
Maybe your manhood
wisely.
is your weapon. Just saying, like
Maybe.
they call them plain swords for a reason. Okay, let's.
When I was a kid, I always thought about how much money Hulk spends on shorts, you know.
How much money you spend on shorts?
Yeah, Hulk. When I was a kid.
Oh
like,
yeah, no, I totally get that.
Every time, why don't he? You know.
I always thought like, hey man, how does I almost said Shrek? How does Hulk?
How much Shrek Hulk's out?
I'm like, how does Hulk not tear his shorts even worse? You know?
Yeah,
now
man.
can we get a Hulk Shrek crossover art?
Can someone do Shrek?
I'm gonna do it
Giovanni.
right now. Yeah,
Giovanni.
on the way.
Actually, speaking of
Is
art,
he
On the
doing-
way.
is
He's
he
gonna do it right now.
Wait. I want to ask another quick question about the piece of art that you're doing right now. Can you tell us not the Shrek Hulk? We can talk about that in a second.
Okay.
What's going on here?
Oh yeah,
Tell us a bit about
this is a party commission, and it's from the Curse of Strahd.
Yeah, I kind of got like similar. Like when I first saw, it, I was like, that kind of gave me Curse of Strahd vibes.
Yeah, glad to hear it because it was
yeah, no,
really
I like
hard
it.
to have
That
this
is
look.
literally Strahd.
Mm.
Yeah, I was really trying to get his likeness. Still have some stuff to do here. But,
Who's your
he was
favorite
like
of
this.
the people that you've done so far?
The favorite D&D stuff that I've been doing.
Yeah, like which piece do you think is your absolute favorite that you've commissioned for someone?
I mean, obviously excluding the one you did for us because we know that is your
Sure,
favorite.
sure.
We know that one.
that's
Yeah,
your
of
favorite.
And also,
Yeah, of course.
I know three
is my
very
top one client.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's one.
Wait, you say
thing.
I'm your top client?
Yeah, sure. Not because I'm not
hey,
your
look at-
podcast, but Elia
No,
was the best client ever. But
Thank you.
I guess my favorite one has to do with some emotional stuff as well.
Yeah.
Or something that was like really. I was surprised by it because I made a character inspired on Warhammer universe.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Oh.
It was a while ago, I guess, 2 years ago. And the guy was like, he was a dad, and he told me about his daughter. And I made like her version on a Warhammer universe, but older. She was like the leader of an army or something. He was riding a giant lion, I guess.
That is awesome.
Oh, can we see this?
Yeah,
Do
sure.
you have that? Can you show us?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was talking
And,
to him before while I was scrolling through his portfolio, and like his pictures, like they tell a story. They capture like an emotion.
This
and
one.
Some of it's so cool.
This one. And the emotional aspect of it was like the dad printed the artwork and gave to the kid and took a picture and sent it to me. And like there's this very same kid like holding the artwork. I was like, this is so cool. This is really amazing.
That is amazing.
I'm going to have like a lifetime impact on her somehow because of this.
Dude, I bet
You will.
I bet she still thinks about this, like even to this day. Like,
Yeah,
Dude, I on the regular go back and I look at the piece that you done for us. Like I look at that
all
constantly.
the time. I always
Yeah,
go
it's
back
so
to the
much fun.
commissions that you got from me. I just look them over. I'm like, damn, dude, this is so good. And like, it was
I
the
gotta
best-
get Maverick done now. You know how great Maverick would look in Radiant Soul form.
Dude, that'd be so cool.
To do with that the piece that you did for us, is there any kind of what is there anything you particularly like about that piece, or any kind of insight about making it that you want to share with us, or like tell the people who are listening like what it was like to make that and the different characters without obviously spoiling stuff? If there's any character information that you know that you might think might not be best for everybody else to know.
I really like how to solve problems, Like, let me see here. Okay, here's the art.
There it is.
Oh, there it is.
That is so cool.
I have like
Baby.
reference pictures, for every hand basically because I
Do you
like
pose
every
yourself?
art.
Do you pose yourself?
Yeah,
and take
sure,
pictures?
sure. I asked my
Take
girlfriend
pictures of
to
yourself.
take
Yeah.
pictures of her feet.
Oh
We
god!
have feet pics
Come on, yeah, hey,
confirmed.
it's-
we have
This
feet
is
pics
for
in Arcane
science,
Recovery.
for
Pigs.
artistic purposes only.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely,
of course.
absolutely.
Yeah, but
Show us the evolving process of like the sketches and everything.
Sure,
'Cause,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
It
The
goes
thing
back
is-
always.
there's like
Whoa,
1, 2, 3,
difference.
4, 5. I have to like make a picture of 5 people. I also have to give a balance between what I think it's cool and also what the client wants.
Yeah.
Like you wanted this guy to be standing, and
And
the
leaning
other
against the
one
tree.
like chilling and stuff.
Yeah.
So
I know that.
how to do it.
I'm really sorry if I made this one hell for you.
No.
Because like I can be kind of picky as a client sometimes, and I know that's absolute hell for creators like yourself.
Mhm.
Trying to strike that balance of what the client wants, but they don't know how to apply it all the time.
Yeah, it's funny how the hardest aspect of creating a painting like this is also the greatest, the most fun, because it's a challenge,
Yeah.
how to make everyone and how the
That
whole
looks so good.
thing kind of works composition
Question.
wise and Sure.
Out of the 4 characters, excluding the wizard, who is your favorite in terms of looks?
yeah. I forgot which one was. I know it's based on your guys, but
Without us telling you.
yeah,
who
but I
is
forgot
who.
about it, so it's going to be a genuine thing
Yeah.
to say. I really like how this guy looks.
Mhm.
Yes!
Hey! Nice. That's a win.
Yeah! Cal for the win.
Yeah.
Aw,
So,
thank you,
I
thank
have
you.
a question. Why do you all have horns? Is there something- is there hidden meaning there?
I do because I'm a tiefling.
Well, yes, but I noticed
Mhm.
that the mask guy has horns.
It's
I don't
part of the
even know
mask,
what
though.
That's part of the mask.
I know. but
Yeah,
I'm wondering.
I
Is
also
there
really
some
enjoyed doing this. his
symbol
clothing as
going
well.
on there. I don't know.
The regal look to the way that the coat looks, it's so nice. So
Yes.
everybody looks so legitimately good. I think my favorite looking person here is probably the guy sitting next to the tree, with his back on the tree.
This
I
guy,
know
yeah,
who that is, but he looks good.
Mm. I also love the wizard. The wizard and the smoke, like it just looks incredible.
Yeah,
Like
the
I know
smoke,
the wizard plays a big part in this.
Giovanni, was it hell to make that smoke like that?
it was one of the easiest parts, to be honest.
One of the easiest
Really?
parts.
Yeah.
Look how cool it is.
Yeah, because it's most like
Liquid brushes, man.
yeah,
Liquid
it's
brushes.
smoke.
Liquid
Once
brushes.
you learn how to do it, it's kind of easy
Yeah.
because you can see everywhere like raw brush strokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Things out of focus. It's a thing in art. Like we have to show things by giving details on the right spots.
Yeah,
If you
absolutely.
look
Do you remember the
closely,
first mission?
my
And
first
if you-
commission, yeah.
And if you see our
Um,
stream right now, we right down there we have our little wizard.
Oh yeah, we have our
and
own
an
little
emote.
wizard here.
Yes, we
Yeah,
have a
and a
little
Twitch
emoji version of
Nice,
him.
nice.
Yep.
So my
Did
you-
very
you-
first commission was
Yeah.
oh man, it was I don't know 10 years ago. I was really young. I didn't even work with art. I was in high school or something, and I
Mhm.
saw a drawing on a piece of paper for a friend of mine for like $5, I guess.
Nice.
It was my first paid artwork ever.
That's pretty cool.
That's so cool,
Yeah,
man.
that was
Look at
my
all the way
first.
back then. I wrote a 16-page book story back in early high school, and I sold about 10 copies, priced at $6 each. So it was
Nice.
pretty good. Orion knows what it is, kind of, but don't mention it.
I'm sorry to
surprised
see
you
Shrek.
sold more than 2.
It got around, man. We were kind of we kind of got known for it for some reason. It was weird.
Is that something that you put on your yearbook?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
One day
not.
I might grace you guys with its presence and its knowledge. But for right now, I'm gonna keep that under wraps.
Just
Or-
give us like a
Wait.
5-line snippet to read.
I really can't.
It's so bad.
I gave Orion a snippet of what it is, and it was horrible.
It's awful. It's
I'm
so
so sorry that,
it's
like-
it's raunchy in the worst way possible.
Oh, how is that possible?
You know,
How
we
is that
were-
possible?
We were in like 8th grade. You know,
Yeah, that's
so-
junior high kids doing junior high kid writing.
Aggie, the writer of 50 Shades of Grey fanfics. Oh man, you have no close. You have no clue. I love the Shulk, by the way. That's
Yeah,
coming along.
I'm
This-
sorry that we're like, distracting you with this abomination.
I have to say, I love it though. I'm sitting here, I'm mesmerized.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Like, look how much
He's been
detail
doing that.
he-
He's been
he already
doing that
went
for
in.
like 30 seconds.
Yes, 30
Right?
seconds. Look how much detail he's got in already.
Can we wait, Giovanni? Can we put
we
this
just-
on like a Patreon or something and sell it? Like,
Sure, make an
Actually,
NFT, man.
better yet, let's send it to auction.
let's send it to auction. One person gets it.
We'll
One
auction
co-
it. Each bid is $5 to go above
No,
the
You
previous
have
person.
to make an NFT, man.
Yeah, I know,
it's
like-
And
$5.
Ethereum.
I will start
Most-
the bidding at $5 if anyone wishes to outbid me.
I'm gonna go straight to like 100. I want this.
You
I
want
this.
$100? All right.
I will get this on a poster.
I am broke, man. I'm sorry. I would love to, but I'm broke.
I'm just glad that we like
All right.
stroke and Giovanni was like, let's do this.
So speaking of being mesmerized, I think we should be mesmerized for a little bit while we take a little bit of a break. I can read out some
Oh.
adverts, and then we'll
Let's
be
do it.
back. Yeah, and then we'll be back, and when we
Cool.
come back, we will have a short story for all of us
Ooh,
to read. Wrote
That is
by yours
amazing,
truly.
man.
So what our short stories are, Jerry, is one of us, it's normally producer Dan, but one of us would write an improv script. You would have no pretense of what your character is other than reading the cast at the top, and you just have to go with it, and it tells a
Alright.
short story.
So basically, be a
Cool.
GM. Got it.
Basically, yes.
Yeah,
this
be a
is
GM.
yep.
And it's going to be a blast, and I look forward to this every time.
Every time.
Every time.
And we have a pretty big cast reading today as well. I'm excited to see what you did for Giovanni and Jerry.
Absolutely. So, Aggie and Dan, if you want to take over a break, I'm gonna get this formatted.
Yeah.
Talk about our lovely people that we're partnered and affiliated with. If you wish.
Yep. So, Jerry, Giovanni, you guys can take a quick break, and we'll come back to you now in a few minutes.
All right.
Yes.
Bye.
Cool. See you.
Well, Eggy, it has been a show. It has been amazing. Stop looking at me like that. Yeah. So, do we have any particular people we want to talk about in this little break?
Personally, I think it'd be really, really nice to talk shit about Jerry while he's not here.
Let's talk mad trash about Jerry while he's not.
Yeah,
No, I'm
worst DM I have ever seen. Dear God, I mean, how long has the guy been DMing for? You see his life.
his live streams. No, I think. Although I do think that I
Yeah.
love Jerry so much.
he's so
but-
awesome.
Do we have anything we want to shout out?
Yeah. If you're trying to like allude something to me, it's totally missing right now. But I will shout out the Instagram and the Twitter, and also the YouTube of Arcane Recovery. Follow us on our social medias: Instagram, Twitter. It's Arcane_show. Arcane_recovery. And if you don't follow, I will find your grandmother and I will tie her to a train.
I love how every single time you shout out the Instagram, you tell people to follow him. There's always a threat. Like there's always it's never hey, Please go follow it. So it's follow it or else.
It's not a threat. It's a promise.
It's a promise.
I'm really good at finding stuff. I'm serious. All right.
But one thing I do want to talk about.
All right. I'm not kidding.
Is the fact that we are really close to actually like starting this campaign.
Yes, we're super close to starting the campaign for the Arcane Recovery show. You want me to talk about somebody from the campaign?
I mean, if you want, yeah, I'd love to hear a little quick snippet.
All right, yeah, I'll give you guys a real quick snippet. I think I've mentioned this character a little bit beforehand, but you guys are going to largely, whether it's directly or indirectly, be involved with a company called The Chain.
Mm-hmm.
I told you guys a little bit about The Chain. There is a specific person in The Chain. His name is Wolfgang. Everybody in The Chain goes by basic nicknames. They kind of leave their real names behind as part of the lore, so they forget that, and they take on these nicknames that become their real names in time. Young Wolfgang is a Goliath from the Eastern Mountain Tribes. Super, super well practiced as a warrior, but not in the way that you might think. He has never grown up with his tribe, and he grew up in the city, being raised by humans, and it shows. This monstrosity of a man standing at about 8'3".
He talks like this.
He doesn't talk like that. I don't know why I just messed it up so bad.
All right. He talks like this, actually. Hey, how's it going? So what if I'm a Goliath? I got to be all big and scary all the time, roaring at people, raging.
You guys are going to be involved with him in some way.
That's cool. I like the card you've been like teasing on the Instagram and the little bits of like lore. Like you've done a really good job at like building up this world and kind of giving the people who want some insight, a good insight into the world.
Yeah, there's tidbits of lore with past events and with characters. For example, I have covered the general of the chain, Leviticus Rain, who is a zealot of a man, to put it lightly, honestly. And I have also teased so far Lieutenant Puck, who is... she's feisty. You don't want to get on her bad side, to say the very least. There's a couple other people that you guys will be talking about. I'll just go over their names very lightly. You have Patches, Sunny, Wolfgang. I'm blanking on some of the names right now. Jester, yeah, that's one. Jester. And you also have Puck. And I'm super excited for you guys to meet all the different characters that I have planned for you. I don't know why, but I'm probably most excited for Wolfgang, just knowing what he is. No spoilers. But it's weird. It's really fucking weird.
But next week for the podcast is going to be an all-cast episode.
Yes,
it's going to be
sir.
The three of us joined by Spencer once again and our fifth cast member, obviously because you are a cast member, our fifth cast member who has not been on the show yet.
Yeah,
Cybus.
It's going to be a fun time. I haven't seen Cybus in a while. I'm gonna be really excited to have her on.
Yeah, like I think, like the group that we have is really, really interesting because not only do we have like people from like 3 people from the US, but we also have like myself and Spencer who are from like Ireland and the UK. I think like the group is like it's a very interesting group, and I think we kind of get on really well together. And I think the characters, like I'm just excited just to like see everybody's characters because I've seen their pictures and like we've done so much talking about the world. And I just want to like actually have them interact with each other. Like that's what I'm
so excited for the campaign to start. Yeah, big plans.
So if you follow us, be here when we start because you don't want to miss a single episode because it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great. Every episode is gonna be packed with a thrilling, suspenseful cliffhanger. all the way up until the end. So I'm going to be edging you guys. I shouldn't say that.
Yeah, choose a different word.
Yes. Anyways, Orion, would you like to read any adverts?
Do you have any sponsors, any products you want to talk about? Oh, we lost Jerry.
We
Oh
do.
no. Technical difficulties.
He had to go rescue his grandmother. I tied her to a train.
To go. Aggie back at it again. Oh, he lost power. That's the back in him. Also, be sure to go follow GMJerry. Go find him on Twitch.
Yeah.
I remember when you first told me about him, and you made me watch his stream, and I was just like, I love this guy. He's great.
And also make sure you go check out the artwork of Giovanni. Do it. Commission an art piece. Stop being
talented, and I'm sure handsome.
Get a job and go spend money on art.
Right? Go outside and find a job.
Hey, Xander, thank you very much for the raid, baby. I love it. Kissy to our other art boy.
Hey,
Xander.
Jerry's back.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Sorry about that.
Oh, you're fine.
No, it's cool.
Don't let it happen again.
You just don't ever do it again.
I do that way too much.
But yeah, I think if
I'm beyond excited to see your guys' interactions with each other, especially you and Orion. And on top of that, what you guys will be interacting with the wizard. I can't say anything about the wizard, but I
want to know about the wizard, but I don't.
Man. He is something. That's it's all I can tell you.
Hey! Oh, we had him back for a moment.
I'm back. There we go. Welcome back, boss. Pleasure to have you. Yes, kissy kissy to the art boy, Xander.
Appreciate you for the raid, Xander. Appreciate you.
Welcome back as well, Giovanni. I see you just got back a little bit ago.
Yep.
He's making the eyes even smaller, which signifies that he is much angrier. In my eyes, at least.
But yeah, I think if everybody's ready, we'll get back to the show. If GMJerry wants to spawn back in.
Yeah, I'm changing the script on the fly right now because I thought of something better.
I mean,
half of it.
We can leave it. You can work on it while we continue chatting.
Absolutely, I'll have it ready in like 10 minutes.
Yes, we'll continue to struggle with topics.
Actually, we usually talk about our favorite character or DM NPC that we made, and one of our mistakes that we made as a dungeon master that we still remember to this day.
Yeah, I mean, this is more so for Jerry than for Giovanni, because obviously Giovanni said he hasn't played that much, and we, as the three of us, have probably talked about this.
But I used to DM as well.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So is there any player, like any DM moments that really stood out for you, or even mistakes that you made as a DM that kind of stuck with you?
Jeez.
Or any mistakes that you see other DMs make?
So many. Wow. There's a lot of things you really shouldn't do as a GM. Know your characters, your players. Let me rephrase that. Your players' motivations, because the guys who like to solve puzzles aren't necessarily the same guys as the guys who like to kill things. And trying to tell your story, the story you have in your head, without giving them room to do their thing, whether it's solve a puzzle or kill things or explore the world or whatever. Trying to make them play your story will never work. You have to, which it took me about a year to figure that out. Why aren't they having as much fun as I'm having?
Yes, that is why I have stopped writing fully fledged stories and let it evolve according to the characters.
Right. I have storylines, but none of it is about the characters. It's about the world. This is what's happening in the world. Where do you fit in here? You tell me where you fit in here, instead of trying to write a story for the characters.
It's like instead of like teach a man to fish, that kind of analogy. It's like, if you give your players like a brick wall, it's like they can only really go about it one way. But if you give your characters like some clay to it's the same kind of material, but one allows them to mold it and to do what they want with it and to create new things with that. Because you have like the common thing of like the DM planning everything out and then the players just completely going against that. That's why I always if you're going to be a DM, nothing should be concrete. Everything should be super flexible and malleable.
Right.
And you can improvise it and adapt it in whatever way is necessary.
Even your big bad isn't necessarily the same guy by the time you get to the end,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Even your big bad has to be able to change.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That is something that I actually have to work on with my overarching big bad evil guy. He's like the leader of a cult. Super charismatic, but in the worst way, honestly.
In the worst way possible.
Yeah. It's not that he's naturally charismatic. It's that he forcefully brainwashes people, and that's how he's charismatic, I guess.
Were there any moments from some of your recent streams, Jerry, that you want to talk about? Anything funny happy in any of your campaigns?
Oh my goodness, the kids always have something funny. I really wish I could. Half of it you have to give like a half hour of pretext to it, but the short version, I guess, is one of the funniest things is watching the parents react to the kids and get into it. The mom with the son I was telling you about earlier, her character, she was had enough of that character because it was basically her in story form, right? And she's like, I'm tired of this doing this thing all the time. I want to be something different. So she started another character she's a very quiet person. She talks about this loud. I always have to go, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. What'd you say? She's always talking about like that. And this character she's got, well, let me tell you about what I did last week. It's funny, but yeah, very outgoing, loud, boisterous. And what's fun about that is seeing her son sitting over here on the other screen, and when he didn't know what she was doing, so she comes out. I had a new character. I think we're going to try this thing because we switched campaigns, so they all switched characters. It was fun. And so he introduces his character as, the wizard, and she brings her character out, and he had no clue what was going on, so he was expecting her to say, all right, well, it's I'm going to have my wizard over here or whatever, Instead, she comes out with that big voice, and you just saw his eyes go, like saucers.
He wasn't ready he wasn't expecting it.
Yeah. It's like, that was cool, Mom.
Getting
I
out
think
of the
that
comfort
kind of stuff
zone.
is fun.
That's so cool. I love that.
I think it helps the kids, because there are 3 kids in that campaign. They get out of the when they can see the adult willing to be goofy and willing to be fun and willing to explore something. It allows them to be able to explore their parts, and I think that's fun. So anyway, that was kind of one of the big things recently that's happened.
Yeah, I can only imagine how DMing for families and kids, especially because I know that if I brought my mom into D&D and because my mom is she's an actor just like I am, so I feel she would bring out something that I just like. My whole family is like super into like arts and acting and stuff. It's like I would love to bring my parents in to play a game of D&D because I'd be so curious as to what they'd bring to the table.
Right.
Friends
because they wouldn't necessarily bring them.
I, for one,
They
would be
bring-
so thrilled to see my mom in D&D because she's very old school. Like, D&D is the devil. That's that kind.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like it's like satanic or whatever.
The satanic panic. Yes.
Yeah. To see what she would actually do in D&D would be really, really interesting. But yeah. Do you have any favorite BBEGs or characters that you have come up with in any of your previous campaigns ever since the start? Who's your go-to, your one?
Who's your coup de
My
grace?
one
Yeah.
is Lothar. He is a extraplanar entity. I can't give away too many details because someone might actually be watching as I'm looking at the stream here. They don't know who Lothar is yet.
Tell them to stop being a stinky.
Yeah. But no, he's very much, I won't say all powerful. He's a very powerful being that I have an entire lore and history for, where he comes from, who he is, and it's kind of the answer to some of the good things I've put in the campaign. So he's the negative aspect of those things. And yeah, I have I got a whole story for where he comes from, how to contain him, how to manage him, and put him back in his box. And that's going to be their whole gist of this campaign, is putting him back in a box, because you can't kill him. They already know that.
He's the Thanos of your D&D world.
Yes.
Yes.
And he's the one I always go to. I have the one campaign on Tuesday where he's the superstar, and I started another one on Sundays. It fell apart due to scheduling, because not everybody could make it, and then COVID, and then jobs, and that kind of thing. But
let me tell you,
he was also the bad guy of that campaign too, and so I was gonna have like entire stories, but
nice.
I'll get there.
I like that.
I'll get there eventually.
I have already before, so I'm going to gloss over the details. But God, that's so. There is a coup de grace character that is my all-time favorite, like, evil guy, and he's not even a BBEG. He's an accomplice to the BBEG. He is a noble that goes by the name of Reginald Trelawney.
God.
Reginald Trelawney.
Yeah, Reginald
This
is
dude.
absolutely the worst human being in every way. He is a regular human noble. And the thing is, he has this bodyguard with him at all times, and this bodyguard is a freak. He is an 8'5" tall Goliath with 4 arms, and like a lot of cybernetic biological augments and mutations.
Interesting.
Like, he has this set of steel arms that he can move around and stuff, and he has the grappler feet. But Reginald, let me tell you a little bit about him, because it's about him. He is horrible, and he actually got in contact with the cult that is the driving force of the opposition to the players. And he has single-handedly funded them with everything that they need. Their arms, their armor, their ships, their horses, everything. Their food supply. He was promised an 8 times outcome by this charismatic leader that convinced him, and he is super, super sold on it. And now that the party is getting super close to revealing a really big truth, and they're getting ever so closer to this cult leader, Reginald is doing everything in his power to stop them. And let me tell you, he sinks to the lowest of the low. A little bit of opposition, a little bit of preface. There is a party member that has had troubles with their parents. Her dad was abusive.
Surprise!
And her mother died. It's pretty late into the campaign. It's like a level 1 to they're level 10 right now. Around like level 8, he shows the party this one specific individual, their mother, and he kills the mother right in front of them. And horrible, right? She was
Terrible.
She was like super torn up about it, and she swore that she was going to kill him. But at this point, he had an army with him. Anyways, I don't want to talk too much. So what I will say, he was able to get in contact with the cult leader, and the cult leader is more powerful than a lich, and he's able to help people reach lichdom. And what he did is that he had his contacts dig up the grave of her old father, bring it to them, and they made him into a lich through a process. And then he handed over the key to the lich's coffin, her own father's coffin. He said, he handed it to her and like,
"Oh, there's a wonderful gift waiting for you inside. Why don't you just open it? The suspense is killing me. You're going to love it so much."
That's the way he talks. Super,
Thanks, I hate
super
it.
over the top, boisterous.
"Oh, heavens, you do seem to keep rather unsavory company."
Prodded her and poked her to open the own coffin. Opens it up. It's her own abusive father that she dealt with for many, many years. And he's come back as a lich. And then they have a very hard battle. One person does die. She almost dies by her own father. And, he's like saying stuff like, "I never loved you," and stuff like that.
Trauma.
Twist the knife, man. Twist
Reginald
the knife.
just runs it. Yeah, twist the knife. He ditches it, leaves, right? Now they're hunting down Reginald super hardcore because what he did is super, super fucked up, but it doesn't stop there. Recently, he got away, and they're trying to find him in the city because he's not at his manor. He's hiding out somewhere. And they know that he has people watching them all the time. They decided to ransack a shop of his, and one of the party members is in love with a rebel prince, who's kind of charmed his way into a relationship with her. And he's he's super charming, but he's not perfect. He's a very human character, and she likes him a lot. He hired a changeling assassin to mindfuck with this individual, and I just got done with a session where he, as the rebel prince that she was in love with, tried to assassinate her. And as him, he's saying all this horrible stuff, like, "I never loved you. Did you really think that we had anything going? You're nothing to me. You're just a whole bunch of horrible stuff." Finally found out that it was just a changeling. And now they're really looking for Reginald, and they're actually in the middle of the boss fight with Reginald and Bolrog, his bodyguard.
Ooh, I know this guy, Borog.
Yes, Bolrog. I commissioned him, and I'm going to commission him in the future with all his cybernetic upgrades. He'll have 4 arms. He'll have laser eyes.
Cyberpunk Borog.
Yeah, kind of cyberpunk Bolrog.
He's a freak.
Speaking of commission, can we just take a second just to appreciate this
I'm just
show
staring at it.
real quick?
Totally
just
enamored.
really, what? That is so cool.
It's only been a half hour.
Yeah, it's
so
it's been crazy.
I have.
I'm almost done with the story, real quick.
All right, go ahead.
Oh,
Yeah, once we'll get into that once you're done.
In the No Mic VC in the Discord, and
Reginald
we'll read
is
along together.
He's a College of Whispers bard. And this boss fight is super, super fun, and if anybody's watching, don't listen. But he has multiple clones of himself that he is using to fuck with the party.
Shit.
Most of the fighting is going to be buffing Bolrog. Right now, they're in the middle of combat, and Bolrog has greater invisibility on.
Oh boy.
And it's a fun time, and Reginald's hiding out somewhere, and he has clones of himself going in to fuck with the party. And he's just a horrible character. He knows the secrets about everybody. He's got dirt on everyone. Anyways, that's him. He's a horrible person.
That's him. He's a horrible person.
I don't even in my campaign. I already hate that character with a passion.
Sometimes I struggle with telling a story that happened, but when it's in the moment, if you guys knew about Reginald, you would know. Terrible person.
It's hard to paint the mental picture of how truly awful and evil this person is. So,
Atrocious.
oh boy,
what can you tell us about this?
this
script?
this story is called
Giovanni.
the Hungry Devil. Giovanni, you have a part as well to do some line
All
reading, improv. The cast, I am the narrator. We have Dan as Wilhelm the Paladin. We have Jerry as the devil himself.
The devil
Giovanni,
himself. Oh, fantastic.
Giovanni as Fim the chef, and we have Aggie as Rick the rogue. This is a fantasy-themed little improv.
I still have my screen sharing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So as long as you can read, don't read ahead. It's just all on the fly of how you would react.
Yeah, but
Okay.
Everyone will see the script because of.
Oh, it's okay.
Is that right?
Yeah. I don't see anything on the screen.
Oh, now you see it.
Well, now I do,
Yeah.
but that's all right. It's
It's
too small
okay-
to
it's
tell.
okay
It's
if
too
they
small
see
to
it.
tell.
Okay.
It's okay if they see it.
Okay.
We won't look.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Does everyone have their little scripts up? It's called the Hungry
Yeah,
Devil.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Tales tell of an adventuring party, bound and dutifully sworn to kill the devil himself. Our party begins climbing Mount Kilgod, straight to the devil's lair. Worn, tired, and motivated.
Push farther, gentlemen. The lair is just up ahead. We will never let the devil continue this tyranny.
Hey, we's gonna take everything of it for sure, Wilhelm. The devil, his hellish inflictions, and we will be rich. You know what I mean?
A booming voice echoes out of the mountain mouth opening, shaking the earth. The devil arrogantly walks out to confront the party, and alongside a feeble, hunchbacked man with cooking aprons on.
The adventurers arrived to our domain, master. What do you do?
Prepare the food.
Jesus Christ!
Prepare the food. The paladin and rogue meet the devil and the feeble man on the mountain rock bridge. An epic confrontation is about to ensue.
Hey, you're fucking Rainatarians now, loser. No longer will you. Fuck. 1 second. No longer will you. Oh yeah. Willem, what the fuck did the devil? What did he do again? I
The
forget.
devil has replaced all of the food with devil's foods.
You absolute. Wait, what does that even mean? What?
That's right, you fools. Angel's food cake. No more. Devil's food. Devil's food cake now. Angel head pasta? No, never. Devil's lettuce. And devil eggs.
This absolute fucking maniac.
That's right. And I, Chef Finn, will be the instrument of the devil's plans. I am the connoisseur of cuisine. I am troublemaker of taste.
Yeah!
Oh, why?
Yo, that wasn't cool, man. He was monologuing. You can't just, do that. I mean, that was really rough.
I had this really good speech and he...
It's okay. It's okay. There. He's just being a bit old bad paladin.
So wait, you're just like a cook or something?
Yeah.
Does he even pay you?
Hey. We have a mutual royalty agreement.
Hey, you should go on strike. I mean, obviously, this is a dangerous work environment. I, for one, I would not want the health inspector or whatever the fuck, or the city inspector, out here. Bad idea.
Do you even have a business license? Even come on, devil, really?
Oh, enough of this. All right. You guys are driving me crazy. You win, paladin, rogue. You've not seen the last of me. The devil. I'll get a business and food service license, rent a building, on the east side. And then I will return. You have not seen the last of me.
And with the crying chef filing a 1-star review on Yelp and filing a complaint with the Better Business Bureau, the adventuring party learned a valuable life lesson. Absolutely nothing.
The end.
That was great.
Beautiful. That was great.
I wasn't expecting Giovanni with the crying chef. It caught me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was really good. Really well done, guys.
That was great. That was amazing.
He was monologuing and Wilhelm just decks him in the face. He's like, "Oh, my face!"
I like how Wilhelm was the one that hit him, and everybody was like, "What the fuck, devil? What's your problem?" Like,
What's your problem?
everybody turns on the devil like, "Hey, man, that's messed up." And Wilhelm was the one to punch the chef in the first place.
Hey, look, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, all right?
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I means?
Gotta
A
gobble
couple
goo.
guys, gobble
Devil's
that would-
food and no more
man.
angel hair pasta, no more angel food cake. It's
Oh,
all deviled
devil cake.
eggs and deviled
Devil's
food
eggs.
cakes.
devil's lettuce and deviled eggs. Can we
And
just
I-
all, all right, raise of hands, who here likes deviled eggs?
Nope.
Everybody passed
Don't do
the
eggs.
test. Congratulations. If anybody raised their hand, I was going to tell you to leave.
See, this is why the devil needed to be stopped. He was gonna turn all
Yeah,
foods into
you
devil's
know what?
foods.
I'm just going to say it. Devil's cake, not that good. Okay?
Angel food cake is like pound
Angel
cake.
food cake.
It's light. It's fluffy. For one, I like cheesecake. You know what I mean? A
Yo,
little
cheesecake
cheesy.
is my absolute jam.
Oh, especially pepper jack on cake, like, beautiful.
Excuse me?
I love just taking a bit of cake and
Like the
and put
cheese?
some Parmesan on it. I love getting some mozzarella.
Oh my
on
gosh.
Do you
on
make the
my
crust
sponge
out of
cake.
rigatoni or something?
I make the icing out of melted cheese.
Yeah, that's what I like to do. I get a little brioche, I get a little Parmesan, I
A little
sprinkle it all into
provolone,
a
mozzarella.
cheese amalgamation. I shove it down my gullet, and then I have the shits for a week.
Seems like you
Because I'm,
can't sit for a week.
I'm lactose intolerant.
Oh, guys, Giovanni is busting out the art for the RPG.
Oh yeah, I
Ooh.
forgot I had to finish this one.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that for a minute. Because
Yes, that
Oh,
looks
yeah, sure.
amazing.
What is this world you're making?
Me and my friend, we enjoy creating stuff basically. So we thought about creating a world that you can play RPG on it, and it's inspired on Dishonored, Diablo, all sorts of
Yeah.
video games. But we're also trying to give our own twist to the overall theme. But let me start from the beginning, like the synopsis of our RPG world. It's
Mhm.
basically the map is USA, and it's basically, how can I say it? There was a catastrophic event, supernatural event, some sort of apocalypse. Like
So
The word-
post-apocalyptic world.
yes,
Yes.
but humanity survived and they reconstructed things, and life goes on. Something like Fallout vibes.
I'm getting Fallout
Yeah.
kind of like
Yeah.
Bioshock.
Yeah, but it's a steampunk type of scenario, and we really got inspired by Dishonored art style. Like that kind of steampunk. We won't have like huge hats with round glasses. Like tubes everywhere. We are avoiding this cliche steampunk vibe.
Yeah.
So we're trying to create things from scratch and
Like
having
industrial.
inspiration. Yeah,
We're
yeah.
talking like steam-driven, like cybernetics and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I imagine little pistons moving back on like the elbow of like somebody's like mechanical arm, and there's like little steam shooting out of like the sides. I don't
Yeah.
know.
But our twist is also the supernatural aspect, because this end of the world thing that happened is related to creatures and beings from elsewhere. We call it demons for a lack of a better word, but we tend to, for example, we have, it's based on the real world back in the day, like 1886, and we had religions, we had beliefs and things like that. So we play around real stuff, and also with made up things like those demons that came out of nowhere that destroyed the earth and things like that. This is a pretty basic resume of our world. We have different cultures.
What does the dude have on his back there?
Oh, it's like a exoskeleton with some sort of backpack to gather items and heavy stuff. This is one region of the world. We have many others.
That looks very cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
This is really.
So when you play this game,
project.
invite me.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, man, sure. It's really on the early development of things. This is some of the creatures we're going to have.
Whoa, that's so cool, dude. That's so eldritch.
Yeah. It's one of our best things in the world, so I'm not going to explain a lot of it.
And you said you were doing this with a friend of yours, so are both of you doing the art, or what? Like, are you both taking
no.
This?
Yeah. I'm doing the art. Also some creative stuff as well on the writing. But we both interact with each other's work. I interact with the script, he interacts with the art. So we are working together, but basically I'm the art guy and he's the script and lore guy. But it's our world.
That's what I want to be. Yeah.
I can see how, when you create a piece of art, there's going to be little nuances you put into it that he's going to then write into the story, and as you read the story, you then modify your art into like this.
It's a symbiotic relationship, You make art, he writes about it, and then he writes some stuff that you make art for, and it's just a cycle. And you keep refining it and refining it,
I love that.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Okay, that's just wrong.
Yeah, no,
it's just wrong on many.
It's dark,
like in a good way, in a great way. I love it.
Yeah. That's our stuff, But
this is the fungus I gave a good recommendation for. But I hope you account.
I feel like I do a poor job by explaining things, But
no,
dude,
I like it.
Sometimes me too, man.
Because
whenever I tell stories.
the world it's pretty damn huge, so I have to dry a lot, because we don't have all the time in the world to explain it. But I have like tons of references here that I can show you guys.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
This is basically what I'm aiming to do. This is like a mood board.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
So I guess it's better if I show
gears.
this to explain the design stuff.
Yeah, no, references are like so needed. I think.
Yeah. Here's some different clothing.
The fashion of the day.
We have like fashion. We are really inspired on Dishonored. They have like the regular looking guys, the elite that dresses those pretty cool outfits. But then we have guys like this on the desert,
Oh,
Mad Max stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say like really gives you like Mad Max kind of vibes.
Have you played BioShock Infinite, by the way?
Sorry?
Have you ever played BioShock Infinite?
Yes. This is a huge inspiration as well.
Yes, there you go.
Is that the Spider-Man stealth suit?
Yes.
I recognize that.
Yeah.
That stealth suit is awesome, dude.
This is what we are trying to sew together and create a world that you can play on it. And that's why we chose the America as a scenario, because it's pretty huge. We have tons of different biomes in there as well.
Right.
So that's why we chose this. We also enjoy having real world stuff to fantasy stuff as well, like this mixture.
Yeah, to strike a really, really good balance.
Yeah.
Between like doing something unique with like fantasy, but still having it like based in like a sort of reality.
Yeah, that's what we are aiming for. But yeah,
And, like,
it's basically it.
what's your end goal for this then? Is it to release
End goal, yeah.
module?
Okay, so we started as a tabletop RPG type of project, but then we were like, man, we should make a video game out of it someday.
Ooh.
You know, this is our top tier dream. So if you're listening and you are a programmer or a game designer, animator, 3D modeler, anything,
even if you know somebody, who knows somebody, send them to this and just let them look at Giovanni's work, make a game out of this, and let all of us voice characters in it.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to have Eli for the
Absolutely.
voice acting. Eli is hired already to do the voices.
Hey, there we go. I'm gonna be a fucking Italian. What's up?
Yeah, man, we need everything.
It's just-
But this is a really long-term goal, this game thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's really long-term.
That is very cool.
And it's all about the persistence, man. You can't can't give up, no matter like how hopeless stuff seems. Just keep driving for it. Because just the fact that you're building a world state means that you can turn it into so many things. You can make it a book, you can make it a series, you can make it a show or a video game, a movie. You know, it's boundless.
No,
when you're just making like a creative like world state project like this, I think it's like super important.
And it's pretty grim dark. It's pretty
man.
Fucked up.
I love grim dark stuff.
Absolutely.
I can see Jerry like making a campaign in his head already in this world.
I'm looking at pictures and I've already got, all right, so I could do that. Yeah, absolutely. This kind of stuff fuels me. I've written 5 novels and I get into stories, and this kind of stuff drives that kind of thing. And when he was talking about persistence, having all those stories I've written to draw on feeds into my GM stuff. I'd never planned to be a pro GM and do that kind of stuff. I'd always planned to. I'm a computer programmer and an author, right? So those were my things I was planning on doing, and pushing through doing what you love doing. You can draw on all those other things. So, like you said, pour yourself into it. This is cool.
It has so much
and it may end up being exactly what you dreamed of at the beginning, and that's great if it does. But even if it doesn't, it'll become something awesome because you can draw on it and use it and apply it to other things. I think it's amazing. I'm floored by what you've done here, man. This is so cool.
Man, I'm super glad to hear it.
Yeah, it's absolutely great.
And it's pretty cool because once you put something out there, like an artwork or a book, people can have different interpretations of it.
Right.
So like you feel like your craft is not 100% your own anymore. Like when I post an artwork, I don't explain the meaning of it. I let people theorize about it.
And that's half the process. Like that's
I think it's
because people come up with their own like head canons or what they think the image conveys, and I think that's like super cool when it comes to like artwork and projects like that.
But also like you could put this out online and have like nothing, like it could not go where you want, but someone will take that image and use that to describe to their players or somebody what like a setting like this. You could post that online. It could influence so many different stories in like years to come, and you could have just drawn that and put it out there, which is what I love about like art, because like a lot of the time for like my campaigns, my characters, I take a lot of visual references.
Exactly.
So like people who could have put out just a simple art piece of like a tiefling, a red tiefling, is like, that's what my character looks like. Like this, I'm bringing him to life now. I think that's so powerful.
And they may have put this little squiggle as a scar or something, and suddenly now that scar is part of your storyline. You talk about how he got it and the father that used to abuse him and blah blah blah. Yeah. And that little squiggle meant something.
Oh shit!
Oh,
that is whoa.
We have
how much of this we can show. Okay.
Oh yeah, there's nothing explicit in here. I think.
No. Okay. Nothing.
Right.
Explicit.
I use the wine glass.
Very tasteful placement of a wine glass.
Very convenient.
Tasteful.
Yeah.
But I like it.
But at the same time, I take a lot of visual representation for a lot of stuff in my campaign for areas and characters. But when it comes to really specific characters and the way they look, I can never find a good representation like I was trying to find a representation for Balrog for the longest time. He has a Fu Manchu, but he's like 8'5", and he looks like a Siberian guy. He has like long curly hair, and like I couldn't find it anywhere, so I had to commission something like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's so I feel so
Oh my
blessed by
gosh.
doing this. You know, it's so it's
It must be
great.
super therapeutic too. Like
Yeah, most
you
of
have
the time.
such an archive of stuff, man.
That is amazing. I could
Yeah,
go
so-
on for days just from what I've seen today, running
yeah.
people through these worlds in my head now. I mean, this is
Yeah,
cool.
I'm super excited about this because it's really something we do for love, you know.
Yeah,
But also
it's a passion project, man.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But it's so early. I can't say everything we have right now because we might change it.
Hey man, you need extra writers, man. Like
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I like how like this like obviously like when you were sketching Shulk, you did it in black and white, and I think that's obviously like your sketching style, but it just works. Like you could leave it as it is right now, and people will think that that's a finished work. Like this could be a sketch. The black and I feel like the lack of color really adds to the like dystopian like post-apocalyptic vibe to this world that you guys are building.
Right.
It's so cool. Like I know I'm producer Dan, but if I had like big time producer, like I'm making this into a game, like I'm doing it.
Yeah,
Someone
man.
out there give me money
This
to make this into a game. Someone give me money. I promise I'm good with it.
Okay, this is more explicit.
Ooh.
So to talk about
this.
some other aspects of the world, it's a pretty dangerous one. We have cities with huge walls on it to protect from the outside world. We have like those creatures roaming around. Those concepts, like I showed before, this one are the special ones. These are super strong ones. You should bring like every player character. You have to fight it.
Yeah.
It's like a raid. It's like a raid boss. Yeah. But you have smaller ones. Those are also one of the enemies in the world. You know, it's a type of it's a one sort of race which is inspired by those demons. You know, those mutations. But basically, we're developing the world itself, the politics. We're going to have lots of Game of Thrones type of things, where one city don't like the other. You know, we have like
conflict,
inner stuff.
sure.
Yeah, conflicts,
factions,
right.
Sure, tons of factions, gangs, cultures. This one, let me see. Yeah, this. Yeah, I don't have it here right now, but we have tons of cultures inspired on real religions and also made-up religions. For example, the Christians in our world think that the apocalypse already came, and they are left in hell, basically.
Oh, I love the dark aspect of that so much.
And they saw this creature flying around, and they think it is an archangel or something, like an angel in the sky, and they started to make cults for this guy. They think it is something good because they never saw it in person. You know, it's just a
Close up
silhouette from far away.
Wow.
This is like the event horizon. It's like a black hole. Inside of it, there are tons of things that can kill you. We have these spectral zones, which is one of the most dangerous place in the RPG, where things can float, and we have invisible enemies that can rip you off and do this to you.
Jesus.
So we have like tons of stuff to show, but so
That's
little
that's
time
the
to explain
scariest
everything.
aspect to me is the invisible creatures. You ever see the trailer for Death Stranding?
Yes.
Yes, man, it's so terrifying to think about. Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically what we have so far. I didn't post this anywhere yet. Just some concepts, you know. We don't have like a specific page to follow or news or something. You guys can, if you're
You guys
listening.
got an Instagram, right?
Yeah, but not for this project. We don't post
Oh,
it.
right.
I just post on my main Twitter account.
I keep forgetting that that's for a different project. That's my bad.
Yeah,
Well,
we
you know,
had. Mhm.
we're always happy to post updates here. You know, if like, 'cause
Sure,
honestly,
yeah. I would like to come back once I have more to show. You know.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah,
I
this
really
is
appreciate the
amazing.
invitation as well.
Oh,
How could I not invite you, man? You
Yeah.
know, like-
like for both of our, like, the work you've done for us in like commissioning the artwork, and then you know you had this amazing world to share, and then GMJerry is like someone that the three of us have been a fan of for a while, and you know you were super on board and you were super excited to come and like be here with us. So like just
Oh, absolutely.
from us here, I like thank you GMJerry and Giovanni for coming and for just being so supportive of us. We really do appreciate it.
yeah, I appreciate everything that we've done together so far, and you know, in the future, I'll have you be working overtime, no benefits,
No break.
just
No
cranking,
war.
No breaks,
cranking
no
it out, right?
dental,
Okay,
Yeah, I'm
no
used to it.
401k.
Easy peasy.
no 401k, nothing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we
man,
do have about what about like 5-6 minutes left?
Sure.
Yeah. Do you have any other last things you want to share with us about this world, or anything you want to kind of about before?
Yeah, no, I feel like I've done a decent job to just summarizing.
More than a decent job. I'm
Yeah,
fascinated.
but we have so much more. We have tons of more details that me and Elia discussed earlier,
man.
like a week ago. We
Yeah,
have
just
so much
about a
more
week
to
ago.
go, but it's pretty complex to explain things that are pretty early in development. But yeah, we all also like to know if anybody's interested to join the project as a programmer or game designer. It's really early in development, but we like to do this research about what engine it's better to use, how much work it's going to be
Right.
for the programmers or anything
I
related to
wish
game
I had the
design.
knowledge. I think I could learn it. I mean,
You could.
I pick up on stuff. I pick up on stuff pretty fast.
You could
Yeah,
also...
I'm also looking to learn 3D as well. I know
Oh, yeah.
like the basics, but it's a whole new level to make a video game. But it is like a long-term
It
thing.
is.
I got a
Mhm.
friend who's getting into 3D stuff. Actually, I could maybe
really?
talk to him. Yeah,
That's great.
I legitimately would want to join it, but the only thing I am kind of good at is like writing stuff. So
Yeah, we might need
some
some
some new
manpower.
fresh
for everything.
concepts to bang around and like stuff like
Mhm.
that. I'm totally down to pitch in a couple cents here, see where it goes.
But yeah,
Um,
my DMs on Twitter are open to anyone.
Mhm.
So if you are one of those guys looking for a project to be part of, I feel like I've been working on indie projects. I worked on like 3 or 4, like game design projects as a concept artist.
Mhm.
But sadly, they all fail. Sometimes they all like gets dry. People just don't work on it anymore. But in our case,
It's a tough market.
yes, but it feels like they just lost their passion for the project.
Yeah, you got to get your foot in the door with something. I would say the easiest way to approach it is to get your foot in the door with something smaller and then build
Yeah,
up your eventual project that you want to do.
what I'm saying is like for someone that is listening or that wants to be part of an indie project, this is a fear that we all have, while
Mhm.
joining a project that might fail, But me and my friend, we are doing this as a with passion, So
Yes, man.
it is on free time, It's not like we don't have a regular schedule or anything. We have to work and do life stuff,
Right.
But we feel like this won't fail. We will keep doing this and finish this because we started so many projects and all of them just got failed. I've been working on a comic book since forever, but we ended up don't working on it anymore. We have tons of pages.
Oh, the comic book stuff is really cool.
Yeah.
So
But
this is being made regardless. Like you're not giving up on this.
regardless. Yeah. We don't have like a time schedule. We don't have anything. We just having fun creating something we think it's super cool to play.
That's a great mindset to have.
But our
I love
first
that mindset, man.
our first objective is to release it as an RPG. The game thing, it's way over the top. Way will be like years from now, I think.
Somebody asked in chat, where can I support that project?
Right.
Man, we don't have a platform for that. You can just, follow me on Twitter or.
I think it's time to make a Patreon or or a Kickstarter. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Kickstarter is the way to go, I think.
If you can get an animator and get like a cool animation down for like a Kickstarter trailer.
Yeah, that's the hard part. We must get the manpower to do everything.
Exactly.
Right.
Animators.
There's a lot of cost behind that.
There is.
Yeah, but if you want to support the project, we don't have a name for it yet. We don't have a page for it, but you can, support me and my friend, by following us on Twitter. He doesn't have a Twitter. He's a more, he's not out there that much.
Yeah.
But you can follow me on Twitter, or you can just basically send a DM. You can talk on Discord or anything else. We have a Trello thing that we can keep track of the project, and we can maybe add you in there. We can make a game design document for you. We really need the manpower to just do this research, before actually doing things.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We do wish you guys the
looks
best on
cool.
this project.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna have to get a hold of you, Giovanni, for a commission if you have a slot.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always open, man.
Oh, he's gonna do it.
Go for it.
He's gonna do it.
Maverick.
You're gonna get Maverick?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
I really like the name.
My Asmar boy.
Uh,
And to
we
close us off,
do
Jerry.
wish you the best. Yeah, Jerry.
Yeah.
Anybody have any last things to say to Jerry? Jerry, anything you want to say to us? or
Plug
to
your
Giovanni?
stuff.
Thank you guys for having me on. This has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I enjoy this kind of, just bantering around and chatting. This is kind of cool. I hope I didn't bore anybody to death.
Oh,
but-
absolutely not.
Oh, no.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, totally not.
Uh,
I'm sorry. If I do it too much, I know. No, it was such a
It's
blast
all
to be
good.
on, man. I loved hearing about your stories and all your experiences so far, and I'd love to have you on again in the future as well.
Absolutely.
and
And
you made a kick-ass
Giovanni, if
devil.
you do get a like, I know you're talking about a RPG as in video. If you get a role playing game like tabletop, dude, that'd be a great low cost way of getting in, and comparatively. And I'd run it. That looks just amazing.
That would
Yeah.
be so
It kind of fits in with my Lothar theme too. I'll quick hints to that. There's a lot of Lothar in what I was seeing there, so I'm like, I'm liking this.
Maybe you two could like collaborate and make make this an RPG like book or like a world and release it together as like a collaboration project.
Hey man,
Yeah,
I will.
Post-apocalyptic module for
we have-
D&D 5e.
Who needs to sleep? I mean,
be a bug-
sure.
I'll be a bug tester for you. I'll be a voice actor for you. I'll be a writer for you.
Sure.
Just let me do this with you.
No, I'm just saying.
But yeah. Jerry,
You can be our meat provider,
I'm
supplier.
Oh man, I finally get in with like a big creative studio, and all they have me do is go buy meat for them. Go on meat runs while they do all the work.
I'd be okay.
I'm a meat intern for you guys.
And you have to put on the Italian accent all day until you
all
clock.
day.
Go get the meat.
That's what I am for. That's what I am in 5M. I'm an intern for the mafia, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, but thanks for the opportunity. It's like my first podcast ever. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
No, you
And
were
everybody-
great.
I'm glad you had fun. Honestly, I know for like the first 30 minutes or so, we were just talking about like Dungeons and Dragons stuff, and you're just like silently just like working on a.
No,
file.
man, I love it. I used to DM instead of playing, but we DM stuff out of nowhere. We didn't even read the books.
It was kind of improv.
Yeah, that's just improv. but
That's very much the way my first few sessions were. I had no idea
Yeah.
what I was doing.
Yeah. It's so much fun when
And
you
you
go.
know, that's how Gazlo became a monster. I'll tell the story another time.
Yeah.
My,
But it
my
was super fun, man. I love to chat with you guys.
Well, it was great.
Sorry if-
Yeah,
my
so glad. I'd
profile
love to
English-
have you on in the future as well.
Sure.
We're gonna
mess around.
can we release Shulk on our Instagram? Can
Oh,
we,
yeah.
can you- someone
Yeah,
will
yeah,
post
Let's release
Can we show it?
Shulk.
I want to. I
Yeah,
want to see it
let's-
again.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
want
see
to
what
see
that looks
Shulk
like.
again. Are you?
one last time.
I mean, you've gotten so decently far. Are you going to finish Shulk or?
I guess I will.
Well, while Giovanni gets Shulk up, Jerry, do you want to shout out where people can find you?
Plug
Anywhere
your
you want
links.
to plug before we sign off?
I am known mostly as GMJerry, so if you look on Twitch, it's Twitch/GMJerry. Oh, that is so amazing. That is cool, man. Start playing .games/u/GMJerry because you have to have the user in there. That if you want to play a game, actually play the game with me, that's the best way to find me. Or just message me in Twitch or Twitter. There is I'm not GMJerry because there's already a GMJerry. He's some general manager of something or other.
There can only
I am
be one
GMJerry
before us.
Hannel.
We must get him.
Yeah, you must.
I've sent him a
So-
message. I don't think he's with us anymore because he's never replied to me, which is kind of sad.
You
Either that or
message
he's
Twitter
ignoring me.
support
I'm
and
gonna
ask them for the handle.
More real estate for you, big guy.
yeah.
Free real estate.
But on Twitter, I GMJerry Hannel HANEL because that's my name.
As you can see on the overlay here.
Yeah.
Right, Giovanni, do you want to plug all your things before we go?
Yeah, I mostly use Twitter, which you guys put on the handle. I think.
GGT
That's,
Fins with a Z.
Yeah, it's basically this one here. Yeah, that's basically my preferred social network.
PFIM.
Social media. But I'm everywhere on Reddit, Instagram, Facebook. It's also my email. Feel free to email anything.
Nice.
So
Well, thank you so much, both of you, for being on the show. It was
Mhm.
I had a
Absolutely.
great time.
my pleasure.
I'm really glad it all worked out, and you guys were two really great guests. I love the vibes today.
Yeah, very good vibes.
Now we
Yeah.
must.
I love the
overcome.
script, man.
Oh, the improv. Appreciate it.
Improv
I'll
was
make
so
better
good.
ones. I'll make better ones for sure
Yeah,
in the
that
future.
was really
But
good.
I can't
Um,
wait for my script reading.
next
I'm gonna
week
be writing
with
the
our
next
with our
podcast.
entire Arc season 1 cast. Now we have to. Speaking of, while Jerry's still here, overcoming the greatest hurdle of all is finding time for one day you coming in for a few episodes on Arc as a character.
I would love that.
For a few Saturdays.
I'm rearranging my schedule a bit lately with getting back into work and stuff. So things are in flux right now. But once I get some things ironed out, absolutely, that would be so much fun. I love this kind of stuff.
I'm rubbing my hands in anticipation and greed.
Let's
Yeah,
do it.
it'll be good. We'll try get you on at some point.
Yeah.
Just because we're such big fans of you, and it'll be great. But Orion, do you wanna close us out? Give us a nice juicy outro.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for listening. If you're listening on Spotify, you can listen to the show live on twitch.tv/Arcane Recovery Show. You can
Watch us
find
live.
all of our one-shots on our YouTube channel. That's
All
also
of them.
there as well. We have a Linktree/Arcane Recovery. And we are starting Campaign 1 DM'd by Iggy. We have our Session 0 meetup May 1st next week. And with the first official episode, Session 1, May 8th.
Be
Yes. Join us next week to see the cast of the players that will be playing. And hopefully we see you May 8th for the very first session of Arcane Recovery Campaign 1.
And if you still want to see some of us return, or at least see me return, or Arcane Recovery in general, there's going to be another stream today at 2 p.m. Central Standard. Our good friend Ducky is going to be hosting a one-shot.
Oh, yeah, that's
with
right.
with some friends. It is. I'll think I'll tell about what it is. It is themed after Godzilla versus Kong, the one shot.
Is he doing it? Oh, no way.
He is doing
The
it.
turn to monkey.
He is doing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, he's doing that one shot with us now.
Yep. So, if you are interested in watching a one-shot, you can watch it live. If you're listening on Spotify, by the way, you can watch our one-shots live on Twitch or also post live on the YouTube channel where we post all of our one-shots and campaign episodes. But the only place where you can catch the podcast is right here on Twitch, in the VODs, or on Spotify. So I appreciate everybody. We are so close to 50 followers on Twitch, which means we're 5 followers away from getting affiliate, so we can start implementing our very interesting mechanic system for the campaign, which we will talk about next week.
I'm working on it.
Get us that affiliate.
Yes. And we appreciate everybody. Thank you all so much for watching, and thanks for spending your short rest with us.
Now go out, kill like a dragon or
Go kill a dragon or something.
like maybe a troll or two.